60 Dogwoods, a garden in 2 phases. An audio story for Eddie's 5th heavenly birthday tomorrow marks Eddie's 5th heavenly birthday, almost 5 years since he went to heaven. 5 years, 20 seasons of blooming and falling, of planting and pruning, of letting go and holding on. Every season the garden has grown a little more, just like the love that still lives here. Phase 1, the Garden of Discovery. We started with just one tree, our grandfather Dogwood. It was a precious gift from his godmother Chris and her family, planted on Eddie's 7x7 equal to 49th day memorial service. At the time, we didn't know it was called Eddie White Wonder. But when we found out, we were speechless. It felt like Eddie was speaking to us through every leaf. Shortly after that discovery, my sister Daisy and her family brought 3 more Eddie trees. Quietly, lovingly, without fanfare, just heart. They said simply, "Let's plant them for him." We cried. Because it wasn't just the trees they brought, it was their hearts. We planted them behind the pergola, in the sacred place we now call the Wind Chimes Hummingbird Observatory. And so, this area became phase 1 of Eddie's garden. On August 22, 2021, exactly 1 year after Eddie's journey to the stars, we opened the garden to friends and family. We printed maps of the 30-acre space on custom hoodies and shirts, featuring Eddie's likeness, the trail routes, the pergola, the time machine horses, and the phrase that Eddie always said, "Why not?" Approximately the time machine. But what truly brought him back that day was something far more personal. Over 500 Rubik's cubes were carefully placed throughout the garden, each one a color-coded memory, a click, a twist, a heartbeat. Eddie's friends, cousins, little ones, they picked them up, turned them, laughed with them, and for that one shining afternoon, Eddie was there, alive in every perfect solve, every joyful smile, every petal beneath their feet. Phase 2, the Stairway to Heaven. This year, for Eddie's 5th heavenly birthday, something miraculous happened. A nursery owner who had once helped us reached out again, completely unaware of the date. He offered me 50 new dogwood trees, not 5, not 10, 50. And I knew it was a sign, a gift, a message from Eddie. Added to the 10 trees already planted, including that first grandfather dogwood, our garden now blooms with a total of 60 dogwoods. We planted the new trees along a rising stone path, 80 steps between earth and heaven, beside the second waterfall. We often call it the Stairway to Heaven. 80 stones. Each step a note in a sacred melody, like the Led Zeppelin song Eddie once loved. It's not just about climbing, but about listening, remembering, becoming. We began at the bottom, earth, planting them like verses in a floral prayer. 4 Eddie White Wonders, 8 Cherokee Braves, 8 more Cherokee Braves, 4 more Eddie White Wonders. At the summit, a Kusa dogwood crowns the bench, a gentle guardian, watching over it all. To the left, beyond the second waterfall, a wild garden of fragrant trees begins again, with blossoms that remember names, petals that carry memories, and fruits that promise sweetness. And then I realized, this part of the garden, this lower hill, was the very place where Eddie appeared to me in a dream, on the 3rd night after August 22, 2020. He smiled and handed me a large bucket of white flowers. At the time, I didn't know what they were, but now I do. They were Eddie White Wonders. That dream garden has become real. 60 trees, 60 blossoms of memory and light, planted where he once walked in spirit. A dream that bloomed into earth. And I remember thinking, 5 years, 60 trees, 12 blossoms for every year he's danced among the stars. And then it hit me, like a whisper from the universe. 5 years is 60 months, 60 dogwood trees. 1 for every single month he's been dancing among the stars. We never planned it that way. But some things are simply meant to be. When we planted the last tree, a soft breeze lifted through the garden. The petals floated up, not down. And for just a moment the light caught them in such a way, they looked like letters, like a love note from the sky. And I heard it. or maybe just felt it. Mommy dearest, this is Eddie's garden, still blooming, still speaking, still filled with wonder and love that only grows. Tomorrow, when the sun rises on his 5th heavenly birthday, 60 dogwoods will stand as witnesses. 60 promises that love transcends seasons. 60 reminders that some gardens bloom not just in earth, but in hearts, and in the rustling leaves, in the rose-scented air, in the click of a Rubik's cube. I'll hear what I've always known. Eddie is still here, still planting seeds of love, still teaching us that the most beautiful things grow not despite our tears, but because of them. Happy 5th heavenly birthday, my precious Eddie. Your garden, our garden, blooms eternal.